Welcome everybody to the final class trial. As you can see, I'm wearing glasses. I don't usually wear glasses.
Right.
But I am now. And full disclosure, I recorded 45 minutes of this trial, only to find out my screen recorder was not picking up any system audio. So guess who has to redo all this again? That's okay, I'll give you some time. It's me. Not happy. Let me tell you. Not happy. Not happy. So, unfortunately, none of this will be new to me. So, you'll just have to deal with it. I could have left the recording, but it's so quiet because all you hear is my audio, so it's like very silent. And I didn't want to do that to you. I didn't want to cheapen the whole experience. So I'm redoing it all.
Huh?
Shouldn't there be more people?
Damn it.
Stupid fool!
Aww. Man, I said some really good, lines during the whole thing, too. Man! I could repeat them, but it loses the magic. And unfortunately, I know what to do here, so it's like, I'll get through this pretty quickly.
That's right!
Unfortunately.
Damn it.
Yeah, this is the last step. Yeah, I mean, no, we've been tricked. What am I saying? We've been tricked. Not gonna be this easy.
Of course not! You know, right?
Man, I was so salty. Went to check the recording. I'm like, okay, hear the audio, but I'm like, where's the game sound? No.
That's right!
Because I changed my recording output to an AVI file instead of my usual file, so I could record it, possibly import it into Sony Vegas if need be. And when I changed it back, there's a box that ticks record system audio that is off by default. Why? I don't know. And that's what did it. Yeah, not happy.
You...
And you know how salty I get during these trials. I edited a lot of that out, actually. Exactly. We're not gonna get to leave.
Huh? Got it?
Finding something far worse.
I'll beat you up!
Yeah. You mustn't run away from despair. What?
Huh?
Who knows, man? What do you do that creepy ass rapist laugh, man?
Wait.
You...
Her eyes were so glassy.
Ah...
Aw, I like Minimaro though.
But still.
Let's get going to the last class trial. Yeah. Don't say that, that's horrible. Hopeless truth. Here we go. This is the end. My only friend, the end. I kept saying those words to myself over and over within my mind. I entered Monokuma Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, will be. Hopefully. Well, don't I have to, reveal the mastermind or something in, a big, flashy trial? Or is that not a thing in this game?
Well?
We still don't know who the traitor is, but we're probably gonna figure out who it is
You are
in
right.
the trial. And if we do, I didn't get far enough to know that, so I didn't get very far in the trial. But what you know about Nagita's death, it's like, just
Damn it.
get rid of it all. It's crazy. Man, that sucks. I hate not going through this, like, not blind like I usually do. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. But even if he's gone, the ones who survive need to stand and fight. We must fight. Yeah. And then the door slowly opened. The bright light greeting us, is that the light of hope? Or the light of despair? Should I just change his name to Nagito? It's not Hajime
Well
anymore.
now.
Yeah, 6 of us left.
Shut the hell up!
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, got the hiccups. Not cool.
Yep.
How would he know it's the last one? Like, what's stopping someone from just killing someone right afterwards, right?
All right!
Well, I guess there was the whole timer thing, so, yeah.
Now then.
Yeah, let's get the trial started.
Viva killing!
This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is also the last one. This curtain is about to rise. Ugh. Nagita Kameda, the ultimate lucky student. Man. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable. Then that all went to shit. And he became deranged. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said that a lot, actually. Several times a day, in fact. He texts me every now and again. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that can overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair, just to prove that hope will never lose to despair. Okay, whatever. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. So this guy was all kinds of fucked up, let me tell you. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. But there were also times he saved us, can't fault that. The last trial. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. And I have no idea at all who did it, but there's no way we can end this without knowing. We will be consumed by despair. That's why we absolutely have to find out. The person who finished off Nagito. The killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Monokuma says this is really the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. And so, this life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, the last one, has begun. No. Good, we're good. Oh shit, I didn't set the other skill that
Now
I got.
then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh my, Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit?
Now, if I remember my Chinese mythology correctly, I believe that the goddess of the moon, I don't know her name, had a pet rabbit. That's what he's referencing, right? Probably. I don't know.
Chesto! One more time! Jeez! How about this one? This will be my final blow!
She's had enough, man.
It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monomi. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
Me too.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid! There's no way in hell I'm the traitor!
Just what the traitor would say.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito is here, right? Are they the same person? Or a lot of bullets.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up! I'm telling you, they were torturing him!
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito!
No, that's wrong.
Couldn't torture him. He had duct tape on before.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
I'm prepared!
Oh, this fucking thing, I forgot. Oh my god, this is so annoying.
Ah, I just realized it! It's a trap!
Trap?
Stupid Hajime! You got caught in that trap!
Stupid? I'm not stupid, you're stupid. Okay.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap! He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention, this is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bar. Then, after they killed him...
Allow me to cut through those words! No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
Because there's no blood under his thingy.
What did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
Do you? You're in elementary school or something.
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer? If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard.
Crafty, alright.
If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
True.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
Can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse. Yeah, and right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back. Which means, It is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect.
This guy. He's got such a boner for the princess.
Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
Damn right. Oh, the reason for the fire. Alright, we need to clear that up first. I'll be going through these a little fast because I already know how it goes out. So, yeah.
The direct cause of the fire
I'll
was...
let you know when I get to
the
the part
oil
that I
lighter found at the
for.
crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
Kind of guessed what they
They
did
probably
here.
just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused...
I agree with that. I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure! A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan!
Glorious Japan.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels.
Or a dust devil from Japan. It's a really toss-up.
A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
No, it doesn't.
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
Hey, adults play with them too, to be fair.
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second,
And so on and so forth.
and from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
That really sucked if one of those fell the wrong way.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
This is the music. Yeah. Whoa, what the hell was that? What's it at?
I see!
I see! Actually, here.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
Very ominous music. Okay, yeah, we know what happened. Now, I believe, yeah, Akane heard something that wasn't the music, but I didn't think anything of it at the time. Although I think I did notice the panels, how they were lined up, so... Fire!
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
Yeah, she tries to open it, it won't open. all the way because it was barred. It wasn't barred, but it was like, yeah. It's not opening. Something blocking the door. Probably the panels.
So the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
Yeah, it's a big problem.
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
If that door was the only entrance to the warehouse. I see, so the problem Chiaki's talking about is, well, the killer couldn't have left.
I see!
How did they get out?
If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
We were all outside, though.
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Now this is the point where I thought, oh, well, Nagito killed himself in some stupid elaborate setup that he did. And I wasn't far off the mark there.
You don't mean...
That's true, this murder.
Hajime? What do you mean?
The person who set the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. Nagito.
This is my answer! What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
Nagito was his own murderer.
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
Probably. He might be into that kind of thing, you know, the self-torture, whatever.
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Very carefully.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like he said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Dirty joke. Okay. If our assumption that Nagito committed suicide is correct, Nagito should tie himself up too. That's okay, right?
To actually tie up your own arm...
No, that's wrong!
The rope was burnt.
Hold on a
He
second.
didn't tie up
Isn't
his
that premise
right
flawed?
arm.
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of it. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that.
But his sleeve was not on fire. It wasn't burnt.
But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Yeah. It's right sleeve.
I see! Take a close look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural.
Yeah.
That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Okay.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
I think that's worse, don't you?
That's definitely wrong.
Yeah. The gangster's gonna talk to us all about morals and decency.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
Excuse me. Nope.
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand.
That much is obvious.
Hajime, you tricked me! Give me back that Benjamin!
Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants the money back? What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Should be, there's always a way. Always.
Then hurry up and spill it!
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest!
That's a lot of interest. A way to stab yourself in your right hand using only your right hand. It's okay. It's okay. There's an answer. There's always an answer, right? I think it was the bear. The plushie with the blood on it? That makes sense. Right.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air
Very smart.
and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that.
He stuck the knife into the plushie. Smashed his hand on it.
The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have
Damn.
used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto
It hurts just thinking about it.
it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
This guy was all kinds of fucked up. Pardon my
I
French.
see. So that's the trick.
Parlez-vous français?
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
Yeah, that's a shame.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
I guess.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, what do you think now?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
Yeah.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible?
Hang on and we'll figure it out together.
He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Well, you're not wrong.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
I think a spear impaling you would probably be the last thing that ever happened to you.
there is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Not a word. Kazuichi. Don't you even say a damn thing.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Say it one more time. I need to record it. For reasons.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out!
Yeah, Fujika will fuck you up.
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
I'd say that would probably be impossible at that point.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I still think the spear was dangled from the railing. Because the blood mark was there, right? It wasn't there on the spear handle, some of the spear handle. It was tied around the railing, and then, abracadabra, the spear falls down, impales Nagito on the chest, boom. Solved it.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
Do you now?
Monokuma's sassing me.
Good. He needs a little sass every once in a while. So cocky all the time.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. This might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Oh man, but I like the convenience. I like my convenience. You know that.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Man, probably is. But I don't think so. I think this was a self-inflicted death. Because what I think, when the last trial was not proven to be a suicide, he wanted to kind of replicate the murders that happened the first time around, so that's what he did. Or something like that.
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
Of course.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
Didn't you just say that?
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Oh, that's right. What?
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together.
Together.
That's how. We made it this far up till now.
Yeah.
Everyone, working together.
She's right, we made it through several years up until now doing that. And even now,
Alright, let's do this.
we can get this, guys. We got this. In the next episode of Danganronpa 2. This is where I ended. This is where I ended the video, and this is when I found out the video crapped out of me. So yeah, that's it for this episode. I will see you next time. Have a good day.